Hi everyone, so my name is Jessamay Tamayo and I would continue the report about the types of the cooperative. So I would be discussing about the social cooperative. Now social cooperative was most developed in Italy but also exists in various forms in many countries. An Italian social cooperative is particularly successful form of multi-stakeholders cooperative of which over 11,000 exist. Social cooperative have great impact on how important social services and community resources are delivered. It is being creatively utilized to deliver social and public services as well as create employment opportunities for people who may be unemployed or underemployed. Social cooperative are legally defined as follows. First, the objective is the general benefit of the community and the social integration of the citizens. Just like what I said a while ago, social cooperative exists to provide social services such as the care of children, elderly and disabled people, and the integration of the unemployed people into the workforce. They say public interest as their main purpose. Definition is the cooperative has legal personality and limited liability. This means that in social cooperative, members of the cooperative are not personally responsible for the debts that they incur. It also means that if the cooperative should do something that against the law, the members can't be held personally responsible. Various categories of the stakeholders may become members, including paid employees, beneficiaries, volunteers, up to 50% of members, financial investors, and public institutions. And these financial investors are, example of this are the venture capital firm or private equity firm, and the public institutions, example of these are the government offices, universities, and college schools. Types of social cooperative, the type A and the type B social cooperative. The type A social cooperative brings together the providers and beneficiaries of social services as members. They provide health, social, or educational services. Example of this are health service cooperative. One of the health cooperative I've searched is the Precious Life Health Service Cooperative located in Agusan del Sur. It is a birthing clinic. They help pregnant women to safely deliver their baby. On the other hand, the type B social cooperative brings together permanent workers and previously unemployed people who wish to integrate into the labor market. These types of social cooperative integrate disadvantaged people into the labor market. The categories of disadvantaged they target may include physical and mental disability, drug and alcohol addiction, developmental disorders and problems with the law, and they do not include other factors of disadvantage such as race, sexual orientation, or abuse. Example of this type of social cooperative is a social cooperative in Cadore, Italy. It started in 2008 from a joint effort of different stakeholders and etc. And their main scope or their main purpose is to give work opportunity to disadvantaged people. That's all for my report. My other group mates will discuss the other parts of our report.
I have example of 3 cooperative bank share common features. Number 1 is customer-owned entitles and cooperative banks. The needs of the customers meet the needs of the owners as cooperative bank members are both. Number 2 is democratic member control. Cooperative banks are owned and controlled by their members who democratically elect the board of directors. Number 3 is profit allocation. In a cooperative bank, a significant part of yearly profit, benefits, or surplus is usually allocated to constitute reserves. Cooperative federation. A cooperative federation or secondarily cooperative is a cooperative in which all members are in turn cooperatives. They are means through which cooperative can fulfill the six Rochdale principle cooperation among cooperatives with the ICA, noting that the cooperative serve their members most effectively and strengthen the cooperative members by working together through local, national, regional, and international structure.
Good day everyone. So by the way, my name is Glenn. Today is where we're going to discuss about the agricultural cooperative that can easily to target what is the need of the certain places or the areas. So let us also define is the agricultural cooperatives. As an agricultural cooperative, also known as a farmers co-op, it is cooperatives where the farmers pool the resources in a certain areas of activity. And also agricultural cooperatives is distinguishes between the agricultural service cooperatives and the agricultural productions cooperative. And now let us also define what is the agricultural service cooperative. So it also provide the various services to their individually farming members, and also there are two primary types of agricultural services cooperatives. One is the supply cooperatives and a marketing cooperatives. So let first identify what is the supply cooperatives. So supply cooperatives is a supply their members with inputs for agricultural production, including seeds, fertilizer, fuels, machinery, and services. So these supply cooperatives, it is very important to create cooperatives to services it because it can easily and get the various way to produce a good services in a certain places or areas. And this is the marketing cooperatives. So when we say the marketing cooperatives, these are the established by farming to undertake the transformations, packaging, distributions, and the marketing of farm products like both crops and livestock. So this is very also important when you create a cooperative, marketing cooperative focusing, because they are also go to package your product to make it good looking and good services.
A consumer's cooperative is a cooperative business owned by its customers for their mutual benefit. It is a form of free enterprise that is oriented toward service rather than pecuniary profit. So, it is a retail outlet owned and operated by consumer. The customers or consumers of the goods or services the business provides are often also the individuals who have provided the capital required to launch or purchase the enterprise. There are many types of consumers cooperative. There are healthcare, insurance, and housing cooperative, as well as credit unions, agricultural, and utility cooperatives. The major difference between consumers cooperatives and other forms of business is that the purpose of consumers cooperative association is to provide quality goods and services at the lowest cost to the consumer or owners, rather than to sell goods and services at the highest price above cost that the consumer is willing to pay. In practice, consumers cooperatives price goods and services at competitive market rates. The difference is that where a for-profit enterprise will treat the difference between costs, including labor or etc., and selling price as financial gain or gain for investors. The consumer-owned enterprise may retain this to accumulate capital in common ownership, distribute it to meet the consumer's social objectives, or refund this sum to the consumer or owner as an overpayment. Accumulated capital may be held as reserves or invested in growth as working capital or the purchase of capital assets such as plant and buildings. And large consumers co-ops are run much like any other business and require workers, managers, clerks, products, and customers to keep the doors open and the business running. In smaller business, the consumer or owners are often workers as well. Consumer cooperatives can differ greatly in startup and also in how the co-op is run, but to be true to the consumer's cooperative form of business, the enterprise should follow the
Cooperative
Rochdale
banking is a
principles.
retail and commercial banking organized on a cooperative basis. So cooperative banking institutions take deposits and lend money in most parts of the world. So cooperative banking includes retail banking carried out by credit unions, mutual savings, banks, building societies and cooperatives, as well as commercial banking services provided by a mutual organization such as a cooperative federation to cooperative businesses. The term cooperative bank refers to a financial institution that is owned by its customer and provides services to both its members and non-members. Cooperative banks accept deposits and loan money to its customer in addition to offering other financial services. Cooperative banks are often regulated under both banking and cooperative legislation. They provide services such as savings and loans to non-members as well as to members, and some participate in the wholesale market for bonds, money, and even equities. Many cooperative banks are traded on public stock markets, with the result that they are partly owned by non-members. So cooperative banks are oftentimes created by affinity groups which share a common set of interests or values. However, cooperative banks are typically larger than credit unions and can have much greater geographic footprint. While cooperatives still elect local board members, the local branches may rely on a central location executive their longer-term strategy.